All right. I think we're live. Welcome, everyone. It's 10 a.m. San Francisco, 7 p.m. in Barcelona. And this is the first episode of Hack Together. So welcome on our first Twitch stream. I'm Nicolas. I'm a developer advocate at Typeform. And this is really an experiment, but we thought it was the good opportunity to get in touch, to connect, and talk about hacking around Typeform. So if you don't know what we do, we are a customer interaction tool that lets you build surveys, that lets you build quizzes, any type of data collection that you want to have that's a bit more conversational, a bit more interactive. This is what we do. And while this is a product that we try to aim for people that don't need to code, don't know how to code, we also have some developer products and we also have some developer capabilities. And so the purpose of this show, the purpose of this stream is to come here and talk about all those different topics so we can exchange, come up with ideas, show you crazy hacks, show you how to use the API, show you how to use the webhooks, and even discover new things. And for the introduction of this Twitch channel and see what we're going to do there, I thought that maybe the first thing we can get started with is our new builder. So I don't know if you've been using Typeform for a while, but we just launched a new builder this week. And so there have been a lot of different changes on the way it looks, on the features, a lot of new features coming up, a lot of new questions, as well as a lot of things that could be interesting for developers. So instead of doing a webinar, something that could be a bit more serious, I thought that we can do this in a more laid-back way, and I can just show you around and discover with you what more the new stuff and answer some of the questions. If you're not familiar with Twitch, you should have a comment section over there. You can leave your comments. I should be able to see them here, and we'll go from there. If you can't watch this now, it will probably be on YouTube later on, and you can should send us some comments as well over there. And then one last thing I would like to mention is our new community channel on community.typeform.com. This is our new forum where you can interact with other users and tell us about your crazy project, tell us about what you're building, and ask any question that you may have. And probably that's a place where we can all gather. Specifically in this community, there's a developer corner, and this is where we mean to talk about technical stuff around Typeform. So please let me know if there is any issue during the stream, if you have any question, and let's dive in, right? Okay. So let me share with you my screen, and please bear with me. This is probably the first time that I'm hosting on Twitch, so I don't have yet all the overlays, all the crazy stuff, but we have to get started somewhere. So let's see how that works. So if you've been using Typeform, you're familiar with this interface. This is the interface you see when you are loading Typeform for the first time. This is your workspace. This is all where you have all your forms. And now the thing that's changed, you should see on the forms that you had previously, the classic button. It means that those forms are on the classic builder. And just to refresh your mind, if we looked at how it looked like, this is the typical Typeform like it used to be. On the left side, you have all the different questions. On the right side, you have a way to preview those questions. Well, now this has changed. So let's create a new form and see how this looks like. Click on the new Typeform button. Here you have access to all the different templates. We made all the templates compatible with the new builder. If you need a template for NPS, if you need a template for RSVP to your party, you can use and reuse all of that. Let's take a template. Let's do the RSVP form. Here you get to play around with it and see if you like it, but I think that's good for us. We can just use the regular title that was here, and boom, this is the new builder. As you can see, this is quite different. Now the form that you're creating is taking the whole space. This is where you're going to see the form you're creating, and we're trying to do more something like a WYSIWYG type of experience. So what you see is what you get. So now you can really go into it and change the text in the Typeform as if you were really editing on the Typeform directly. So the preview is as well the editor. On the left side, this is where you have now all the different questions. There is a visual cue in terms of the name here. WS is for the welcome screen. Those are regular questions, and the one with an S is the statements, the one that are just making a point and not really asking any question. And otherwise, I'll say that spinning started on how it works now. The new things are also on this sidebar will be the endings. That's what used to be called the thank you screens. And so now they're here, and this is something we will explore later on. If we look at the editor for questions, now the settings are available here on each question. This is where you set up if a text is required, if it's for a multiple choice, if it has the shuffling, if it has all those things. And everything now for the look and feel, what we call the layout, it's happening here on this top right side. And this is already somewhere where you see a lot of changes. So now the images, I should take a better image because that messes up with the background. So let me check another image. And so now in the image, you still have what we had before, the Unsplash integration, the integration with Pexel if you want to put videos, or the Noun project to get icons. So you still have this, but now, let's pick this one. We have added a little image editor for you. So you have way more control. And to make this even more interesting, I think I should probably pick something that has a character in the image. Let's see this bulldog, or I don't know anything about dogs. But you see how this image is very big, and maybe I'm interested more to center the focus on the face of the dog. And so now really I can like crop the image. I can tilt it to add some, tilt it, doesn't have to be straight. I can flip it. And so now you have like your own mini editor in Typeform. If you're like an Instagram fanboy, you can add all the different type of filters, same as your favorite social app, or change the brightness. You can really go deep into this. And so now this is the opportunity for you to make those forms a bit more personal and different. And this is what you get here doing this. So let's save this image now, and we're gonna add it as, that's probably too small now. We're gonna add it here. We can decide if it goes left side, right side, if it goes in the background, and where it should be focusing. So this is one big improvement in terms of the images and the way it looks. One thing we changed it and we added in terms of images is also what you see here, the alt text. And so the alt text here is actually something to provide more accessibility to your form. So if someone is experiencing a Typeform on a device that doesn't show images or can't read images, here you provide a description of what is the image. So anybody could have a sense of what is shown on the screen. And the better description you put, the more, the best experience people have when they open your Typeform and they can't see the screen or have difficulties to see the screen. So I really encourage you to check that and make sure you add an alt text every time you add an image. So this is not specifically to developers, but I think it's a good thing to showcase because this is really advanced. The things that could be interested for you as developers, it will be some things around the logic. And so for this, let me start from scratch so we can rebuild this ourselves, creating a new form. And we're going to build something where we want to do something where like we're going to do an RSVP party as well. And we're probably going to ask the first question here. We're probably going to ask the first name of the person. Hey, what's your name? And then we want to know, when we organize this party, how many people are going to be in the party and how many people they're going to bring. And so what we can do is ask a question if they're coming. So are you coming to my party? Yes or no? And then we're going to ask them how many people are coming with them. So how many people, how many plus ones would you bring? And this is going to be a number question. And so we will want to limit this. So you can't really bring more than 3 extra people, right? No, that's the minimum. We don't want you to bring more than 3 extra people. Sorry. All right. And so we do this question and we want to publish. And so here, the thing that is now different is one thing I want to show you. This is the logic map. So you see how the questions are getting organized. First question, second question, and third question. And then the thing that I would like to show you is how you can calculate this. So ideally at the end of the form, I want to know if this person is coming and how many people are going to join. So the person coming plus their plus ones. And so it used to be something you could do with calculation, but at this time you can only do play with 2 different variables. It was either the price or the score. And in this case, what we're calculating is neither a price or a score. And so we're going to create a new variable for this. And we're going to call this people coming. And we're going to set the default value at 0. And now what we want to do is create some logic around this. So we calculate how many people in this party are coming. So let's get into here, branching and calculation. And this is the new interface for you for logic. The good thing here is now you're going to have an overview of the logic for all your form and not only question by question. So it should be easier for you to set up all the different branches and to set up all the different calculations because now it's an overview. And so let's start by adding the logic in terms of adding the first person. So if they say they're coming, then we're interested, and you see all the different actions that could happen here. You can either jump to a question or make some operations. But right now we're interested by operations. So let's say if they're coming, we want to add a number 1 to the people coming. Okay. And so if we do this, let me publish this form and look at it. So I'll get my URL here in the share panel and open it up. And here I'm Nico. I'm coming to the party. Here I can put whatever I want. And this is the end of my form. Now if I go to the results, I should see this new response coming in. And I see that people coming and set to 1. This is great, but now I want to do an addition, a calculation, adding the people that were also in the third question about how many plus ones people are bringing. And this is where it's become interesting is now I have as well this variable that is named the way I want it, people coming, and it says what it does, and I can have as many variables as I want. So we go back to the form. And we go back to the logic and the calculation. And now we add a calculation on the third question, where will be how many people are coming. And we're going to do this always. And we always going to add the answer to this question. So again, here you have the option to say if a condition happens only once, or if it happens all the time. Hey, Jacob. And then what you can do around this. So us, in this case, we're interested by an operation to add something. We get the value of the question that was answered, and we add this to the variable. Again, a simple logic. No, complex logic, just point and click. Nothing that's too programmable, too programmatic, nothing that's having to write any code, but you now have a bit more control over what you can do. So we'll do this, save, publish, and now we can try this and reload the form. So I'm going to find up another name. Am I coming to the party? Yes. And how many people I'm bringing? I'm bringing 2. Ta-da! Now, in the results, you should see a new response from Pedro and the addition of myself coming plus my 2 plus 1s. That means 3 people are coming to the party. So simple calculation here, additions of things, addition in a new variable. But there's one thing that it's definitely not great, is that I'm asking this question regardless if people have said, yes, we're coming to the party, or not. So if people say, no, I'm not coming to the party, they still ask a question about the plus 1s, and this is not really relevant. So let's fix this. Going back to the create, going back to the logic, and in the branching. Now we want to do something where we're going to add a new rule on the question 2, and we're going to say, oh, if people say no, then jump to the end. And that's it. So now they shouldn't be prompted with the question about plus 1s if they are not coming. And as you see here, it created a different branch. All right, publish. One new thing that you may have noticed is that if you have started to fill up a form, you abandon this. So you close the window or you never click submit. The next time you come back, the information is still here. So that has been a feature that has been asked for a long time, and this is something we have recently added, so you don't lose the data from your users. They can always go back and continue filling up the form. So you see all my options, my name and my options were previously selected. And now if I click no, this is the last question of the form, and this is the end for me. I'm never going to see the plus 1 questions. And so here, quickly, this is how you have done calculation. And so now you should be free to add more variables. So if you want to know how many people are going to eat vegetarian menu, for example, right? Or how many people are, how many are kids? Suddenly you can ask all those type of questions, store this in a menu, in a variable, and then use it for other questions. So let's do this. Yeah, so you can basically create more logics and more variables around all those different things. One other thing that has changed in this logic panel is the hidden fields. So if you remember, before the hidden fields were a question type, and you had to find them in a question type. Now they are into the logic, and they are under the advanced logic, and this is where you're going to add those hidden fields. And so hidden fields are interesting because that's a context you already know about a user. That's something that you don't want to ask them twice. And so in a case where you are sending this type form for your friends to a recipe to a party, you may already know their name, and that's kind of rude to ask for the name of a person you already know. So you can just ask for name here and do some logic, because now what it does, if I publish this, what it does is let you add to the URL a name, share, a name parameter. So now you open this URL and you can pass a name, right? We don't do anything with this name yet, so it doesn't show, and whatever, and even if you have put this name, we always ask the question. So here we can do 2 different things. We can, if we go back to the create, we can welcome users by their name. So we're going to create a welcome screen and say, so and we can, if you type @ this is where you're going to see all the different things that are available for you. So you can use the hidden fields, you can use the variables. Right now we only want the hidden field. Excited to have you at the party. party. And so that will greet people with their own name, right? So when you open this now, you see a welcome screen and say, hey, Pedro. And if you don't put anything, and it's not impersonal, you just say, hey, instead of putting the name of someone. But let's skip the question now if you haven't given us a name. So we go back to the logic over here, and we're going to do something here. And we're going to say if the name is not equal to nothing, then jump to the second question. And in other cases, ask for the name. Okay? So you see here the past, what happened. And the idea here is that only the people that haven't passed their name will give us their, have the question about their name. So in this case here, I don't have a name. I should be asked, what's my name? And if I edit here, name, load. So here I see my name, and I don't go to the right question. So there's probably something not working properly here. That does not equal to. Might not be working with empty stuff. Is not equal to doesn't. If name. Maybe I didn't save. Okay, let's try that again. Is not equal to empty. Save. Publish. I set up my name. Aha, yes. Now it was it. I didn't publish this. So now I have put my variable. It asking me the question about am I coming to the party, and doesn't ask me the question about my name. So that was really a way to overview what's new in this branching calculation logic things. And I think like now you're going to have a bit more power over the things you can do with all the different variables. We've seen people, that's one thing that is interesting, and we've seen people doing different scoring as they were asked questions. So if you want to measure different skills, if you want to do different scoring on different things, or if you do a quiz, and some teachers do this and they want to put minus points, you can keep the score of both on the first question, the second question, and all this different stuff. All right. So now another thing I would like to show you is how the things are becoming available into the webhook. So something that is really for the developers. And so we are now going to connect this form to a webhook. If you're not familiar with webhook, the idea is that when a form is submitted, you're interested to retrieve the data that has been submitted. And you're interested to retrieve this in real time, meaning that you can react to it. So if someone has answered yes to my party, I would like to send them a gift card. I would like to place an order for more food, or notified the venue that we need more people in the room. So this type of thing, you can build a lot of different workflows. And so you will find those webhooks in the Connect panel under the webhook panel. And we're just going to create a webhook. And here, it's going to ask you for an endpoint. And if you're not ready, if you're just testing stuff, that could be a bit frightening. So there are two different ways you can go around this. Either you can use something called request bin. And I'm going to Google this with you. I'm going to create a request bin. Oh, yes. And so this is now, it used to be a service that was available on its own. Now it's provided by Pipedream, awesome company. doing a lot of things around this. Oh, and I'm not logged in on. Let me log in on the other window here. And what it's going to do is they're going to provide you with a simple service where you can time to put the authentication, the 2FA. And they're going to provide you with an example of server that you can reach out, and like this, you can inspect the payload sent by the webhook from Typeform. All right, so now I have, this is my URL that they gave me, right? And so now I should be able to put this URL here, save webhook, turn this webhook on, and submit my first, another example. So am I coming to the party? Yes. And I'm bringing one people more. And so it's another window here, come back here. Haha. And so now what I see here on the left side is a new event that has arrived, and we see the we don't see what I wanted to see. Here it is. All right, so they let you do a bunch of different things later on, like adding different steps. But right now, we're only interested to look at what has been received. So we're interested by the response, the body of the response, and this is what we send from Typeform. So we send you a form response that contains the answer to the two questions that were asked, that contains something that was calculated, and something that are the variables. And this is the thing that is new, as you are using the variables in the new builder. Now, what has been calculated in the variables, they appear in a variable property in the payload. And you see that the people coming variable has the number 2, as we expected. Okay, and everything that's around the hidden field is on hidden. So this is a new thing, but just to show you that now everything like this is available in the payload for Webhook, and you can play around this as well. If we want to go further, and if you want to resend and retry this, here in the view deliveries, this is where you see all the different events, and you see directly the payload that was sent in a beautiful way. And if you want to do that again, you can just click redeliver, and it will send the same payload again. Like this, you don't have to send fake and submit fake submissions all the time, and go above and go crazy filling up your form, your complex forms. You do it once, and then you can resend it multiple times. Again, we see the forms response, the calculated, the hidden, and the variables here. So this is great. You can use this service to debug and try things, and then eventually in the back you can add more steps to do more logic. But if you want to get started as well with some code, we have some code on Glitch under the Typeform team. So Glitch at Typeform. I'm not logged in, so I'm going to log in here. Log in GitHub. And so if you're not familiar with Glitch, what it does, it's an online IDE that provides you with a server as well. So you don't have to build your own server. It will deploy automatically for you. And so we have this example, TF webhook receiver, that you can just remix, similar to fork on GitHub, and it will deploy it directly. So if we do remix here, this is spinning a new instance of this project. This will give us a new URL, and we can play around this URL. So the URL will give that is giving to us. We can look at this here. the live website. Click this, and it's going to be on /typeform/webhook. So we can go change it here. /typeform/webhook. And this has everything for you to try. It's going to ask you for a secret. That was there in the past, but the secret here is interesting because it's going to for sure make sure that the request that you're receiving on your webhook is coming from Typeform. So it's a way for us to sign the request, and for you on the other side to make sure that everything is correct, and so you're sure it's coming from Typeform. So I recommend you put a secret here. Let's make one very simple one. ABC, something like this. And so in our setup, we come here, we go in the environment variable, and we're going to put the secret here. And we should be good to go. We have the logs, and now we can send this request again. Coming here, do redeliver, and it should redeliver it here. And I have some issues because it's looking for things that are not existing in my form. Yeah, let's get rid of this. And I can just console the form response. So you will see the payload coming. All right, redeliver. Boom. This is what has been received. And now I can play around with it. And so what I wanted to do, for example, was to show the name of the person that has just joined. And so what we can do is extract this and extract it in different ways. So we can, for example, look at this in the answers here. Or we can extract the name that it's coming from the hidden field. So we can do something like this, where let name equal, and we're going to extract form response hidden and of name. And that should give us the name of the person if it was passed in the hidden field. And we can send this here to our front end. That was part of the example. And if we open this app here, okay. So the idea now is we have our backend that is receiving the webhook event, communicating with our front end. That should display every new user that RSVP to our party. So let's do this. And then I realized I should probably make this example a bit more generic, because here in our example, for us, that was a way for you to see a GitHub handle coming in and put the avatar of the GitHub handle. And obviously, this GitHub handle doesn't exist. So how can I change that? I have to go to my code here. And yes, that's probably something we should explore better. Create attendee name. It's funny, where is the name for this? All right, let's debug this together. Undefined, okay. So there's probably something wrong in the way I send this. Because form response, okay, form response dot hidden, this is giving this. Let's check what is the name, if we have the name. If we don't have the name, then it doesn't make sense. Okay, name is Nico. That's what I wanted. Webhook receive. I know. You know why? You know why? All right. That was it. That should be it. Haha. Here. Okay. So that was the issue. That was the variable. That was pass here was called handle, and I was using some magic to not have to define it because there was also a variable named handle here. So instead, now I'm passing the name, and so it does what we were supposed to see. So this is the avatar from GitHub from this username Nico. But just to show you how you can receive a webhook event, extract the data, extract the variables, and have access to it. So if we wanted to show, for example, how many people were coming, we can get people coming and extract the variable from form response dot variable and variables, and then find the one. So we go find the one that is called the key. Yep, no. People coming, and we want to have the number. And so now I have a dot if this gives us an array. So we should probably just get the first response for this. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna cheat and say it's gonna be name plus name space and plus the number of people that are coming. So people coming, and this is a variable. So if we do this again, so right now there's nothing. If we send the same event, what do we get? What do we get? An error. We get an error because something is not working here on the way we extract the variable. Some issue with my paste. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what do we see. Because we didn't answer back, this is failing. All right. View deliveries, redeliver. What do we get here in the code? Yes. So this is the one we have. And you see, I thought it was giving us an array, but dot find doesn't give us an array. It gives us the right element. So we can just do dot number directly because that's what we get here. All right. So now let's redeliver one last time. And no. And then it's going to be probably failing here. Yes, because the image doesn't exist. So let's add something else. Actually, this is not people coming that I want. Yeah. People coming is going to give me the total and not just the plus ones. But you're just going to say the plus. It's is the one we want. So people coming, we name it here, we change it. And we create. I got into a rabbit hole, and this is not really what I want to show you. You know, we're going to change it here. We're going to do that here. All right, we get Nico and the number of people that are coming after us. Okay, so let's get out of this rabbit hole of how you can use webhooks, extract variables, everything that you get into the new builder. This is exactly what I want to show you, is how you can connect all these different things and enjoy the new builder functionalities. If I look at other things that are available for you in this new builder, we looked at the images at the beginning. One thing that is really cool about the images is now you have, so if we want to add an image, now there is this image gallery. So I don't know if you remember in the past, but if you were adding an image to a form, you will have to basically add it every single time. Well, now there's a gallery, so you can reuse things wherever you need it. And so that should save you a lot of time. And it saves you as well the modifications you do to it. So you can either have the original or the filtered, modified version of it. So quite easy for you. You have also now a layout functionality for the welcome screen. It didn't used to be like this. It used to be more like this, more nothing really exciting about this. But now you have full control the same way you have control over the different questions and the different layouts for the questions. So that gives you more power. The other thing I wanted to show you is the different questions and what's new in the different questions. So we launched 2 new question types. I will get started with the ranking. The ranking, because this is fun. And in our case of our RSVP party, we can ask, what would you like? Choose, rank the activities you would be excited to have. And so at a party, we can have a clown, we can have a swimming, a ball pit. There's a lot of a ball to jump in it. We can have cotton candy. We can have you know what? We're gonna do a water fight with the candy. Yes, we're gonna do a water fight. Okay, and so we want our users are the people that are coming to my party to decide which one they like better, right? And so they can rank those things. And for me, it's interesting to have ranking, knowing what's the activity I should offer and what's what people want to do with it. And so if we open this form again and look at this question, yes, I'm coming to the party. Oh, now I may have some issue because this question might be excluded from the logic flow. Let's check this. Yes, you see, it's coming just after what is your name. And so no one's going to see this if it has already the name. In all other cases, yes. All right, so what we need to do was, instead of redirecting to question 3, we redirect to question 2, which is the ranking. Oh. All right, so now let's refresh this. I already have my name, and now this is letting me putting the order that I want. Okay, so I put cotton candy first, and I'm coming to the party, and I'm bringing 1 new person. And so if we look now in the results, those metrics and how those ranking, you see that how this individual person has answered and what is their favorite ranking. This is also something you should get into the webhook, and you'll have access to this as well. So you can do some logics around this. The cool thing about that as well is in the summary, you will see, and we probably need to submit another results. You will see on average what is the thing that people have selected first and what people want to do first. So let's do that again. What do I want more? Waterfly this time. Okay. I'm not coming to the party. Let's refresh this. Oh, it's probably a bug here. But it tells you, okay, this choice is on average number 2. And as you have more people answering, you will see which one is usually the first one. So that's an exciting new way of asking questions and interacting with your users. Let me check if there's any question here. No question. And so time for me to show you the other new question we have called the metrics. And so this is for any type of questions where you want to, when you say, would you say you, and here we're going to say you strongly disagree, agree, strongly agree, strongly agree. I would say, what would you say about those opinions? And we can say Lego is a great, it's for kids. Do you agree? Do you strongly disagree? Clowns are scary. So you can ask a bunch of questions like this for the people that are coming to your party, and that will give you an overview of what is the opinion. Clowns are scary. Okay. And what cake is the best? Okay. So you decide where are the different columns. So what is the different nuances that you want to ask to your respondents, and you ask them on which topic you would like to have their opinion. And so like this, you're basically grouping one question. In one question, you're grouping a lot of different subsets and a lot of different opinions. So that should let you, make the form shorter sometimes. So this is our ranking question. Oh, I did the same thing. Did I do the same thing? Yes. All right, we should get rid of this logic. Scary, Lego. What did you say about the opinion? Yes. No. What did I do? Yes, okay, I know why. So in this case, I've reordered the questions here. So, hey, what's your name should be the first question that is skipped. And so we go to the opinion, and in all other cases, we go to the opinion. Okay, so we only skip the what's your name question. Publish. All right, and this is how it looks like for your users. Right, they put some opinions, they rank all the different things. Coming to the party, they bring one person. And then if we look at the results, you see exactly for each individual row that you have asked for their opinion, what they have ranked and what they have selected. And so in this case, they tell you that Lego is for kids. They strongly disagree. It's also for adults, maybe mainly for adults. So that's again a new way for you to ask questions around that. So I'll say we're pretty much about the end of like the things I wanted to show you. One thing I want to show you as well for developers and people that are building integration with us. Now we have added a search bar into the integration. And so this is where you can search for all like our Google Analytics, Drive, or Tag Manager integration, this is where you can search for intercom to find intercom integration. But this is also where you can find and look for something that doesn't exist. And you can let us know that it doesn't exist and you would be interested to have it and tell us about your use case. This is how we improve the English integrations offering, and this is where we can build more stuff. The last bit that I can show you in terms of functionalities, and if you're interested by this, I'm sure you can look at the webinars that the team has put up. It will be more complete than just me rambling around. It's on the endings and the logic around these endings. The idea is it helps you create and put people in different buckets. So if you have a form that is really more like a personalized test, and if you read those like magazines, they tell you, oh, you have that many stars, you are a person that feels like this. If you have that many triangles, you're a person that feels like this. Well, it's exactly what this thing is doing. And so for this, I have to create a new form, I'll say. Let's do this. Let's create a new form so I can show you quickly. And then, yeah, let's try a new form. And then here we can ask something. Where's your favorite sweet? And it would be like M&M's, Snickers, Swedish Fish, and Kit Kat. Okay. Then we can ask another questions like this, and so we can duplicate this question. What is your favorite drink? Soda. And that would be Coke. A little bit of all this from scratch. Coke, Sprite, Orangina. If you don't know Orangina, I really recommend you to try this. It's a French soda. And Fanta, and then you can have all the Dr. Peppers and all those different things. So you see this. And the idea is that depending on what people have answered, you will create different buckets. And so this is what we call here outcomes or endings. And so you can create this thing now where you'll say, oh, if the people, so the first thing we're going to do, we can create two different type of ending. We're going to say, oh, you are the sweetest. And here we can say, you like sour stuff. This is not really a scientific option. But we need Sour Patch. And it's not really the best way to categorize people, but it's one way to ask questions for sure, and one way to think about different outcomes. So we get here, we say the outcome, and we want to say, okay, for the people that are sweet, what should be their answers? And this is where we're like, okay, that's going to be something they either say they like M&Ms or Swedish Fish, and then for their soda, they say they like Orangina, for example. Okay, oops, outcome here. And then for the sour stuff, we'll say it's people that like Sour Patch. We should have created an option for chocolate as well, but you can select what are the other options. And where the combination for the drinks. And so depending on those combinations, people will see different things. And so this helps you very quickly by just clicking and pointing, putting people into buckets and show them one end screen or the other end screen, one or the other income. So if we open this, let me share. Let me get the link here. Let me get the link here. I didn't publish. Let's go publish first, and now let's open this thing. All right, and so if I do something where I'll say, I like Sour Patch, and I like, it was Orangina. I'm a sweet person. Is that what I have set up? It was not a good mix. Yeah, so for example, that that combination didn't exist. So that wouldn't have worked. So it default me to this one. But if I have made one that was working, so M&M's and orange now, for example, M&M's and orange now, I'll get the sweetest. If I do Sour Patch and Coke, I like sour stuff. So this is for you an easy way to create those different outcomes, those different buckets of people. Whenever you do personalized tests, whenever you want to do product recommendation, this is a place to be. And this is also data that becomes easily to maintain. All right. I think we're about to be here for an hour. That was a good experiment. We can definitely dive deeper into technical stuff whenever you bring questions. Please go on the community, ask us how to build things, ask us how to connect stuff, ask us about your crazy ideas, and maybe that's something we can do on the stream all together, connecting tools together. We have a question. If you have advanced logic in the form, can you actually use the outcomes in the endings in the simple logic? Yes. So one thing that I showed you was like, I should have showed you this the other way. I showed you the advanced stuff first because this is what's closer to what we had earlier. And I showed you this one at the end. I should have showed you that first because this is really simple logic, click, 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 simple logic. You don't really have to think about all the different branching and all the different connections. But yes, you have access in the advanced logic. All right, so I have to decide which one I use. So if I get rid of, no, I don't want to delete the ending. I want to remove all this. You have access to the endings as well. They are here. It's what used to be called thank you screen. So you have access either in a simple way, you select what answers get you into which ending, or you can build your own logic like you used to be able to do that before. All right, that's it. I'll say that's it for now. We'll try to have this every other week. Okay, last question. The logic map. Yes, you should see the logic map in both. And actually, I realized that this logic map might not still be available just yet. That's still in beta preview, but this is where we're going toward. So let's have this every other week. I don't think I can maintain a weekly thing just yet. If you're interested to come and showcase your hacks, if you want to showcase what you've built, this is the right space. We'll post on the community channel. We'll post an open forum for you to ask questions, suggestions. If you want to see us, how we connect things with other tools, if you want to have someone on this stream, let me know, and we'll try to get them. We'll probably also share with you a video ask. If you're not familiar with video ask, this is a way of asking questions in an interactive way with videos. And this is your opportunity to have your face on the show, maybe. We'll be looking for other people to join us. So looking for your suggestion. Sorry if it was not clear, if it was a bit of rambling. This is a first. And I realize it's tough to just be by yourself and talking to yourself. So we probably need another person to do that together and do more ping pong interaction. All right. This will be on YouTube. See you there. See you on community.typeform.com. And yeah, keep hacking. Have fun. Cheers.